we are hearing Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was bewildered, playing the pastime of being bewildered, what he has to do when he came in such situation that his emotions overwhelmed him. At that time, he thought, I will not fight, it is better. But Krishna did not approve. So then, Arjuna thinking Krishna is not approving. So, I don't know. So I am surrendering myself completely to Krishna. And he fully surrendered and inquired, what is good for me? What is best for me? What I have to do? In this way we have to approach Guru. Pranipatena pariprashnena. First surrender, then ask for highest welfare, and then we have to do sevaya. We have to do what he says, then we'll get the fruit. So Krishna spoke to Arjuna because he was surrendered to him. If someone is not surrendered, Guru has no impetus to speak to that person because it is useless, waste of time. So Krishna explained many things of gradual procedure and this and so many things we heard, and for Brahman, for Paramatma. But at the end he said, now you hear me. I will tell you the highest advice, what I want you to do, because you are very dear to me. So he told you, think of me always as Bhagavan, pointing his finger to himself as a Bhagavan. Before he said, if you should surrender to him, means to Paramatma, by his grace you will get. But now Krishna is saying to me, Manmana Bhavo, you think of me, Manmana Bhavo Mad Bhakto, you become my devotee, serve me. Majjaji, you worship me, and Mam Namaskuru, you offer obeisance to me, means take absolute shelter of me, you will come to me. Then Arjuna thought, if I will exclusively devote myself for the service of Krishna, then I will not do other duties enjoined in the scriptures for advancement. Then Krishna, sensing this in him, he told, you should give up everything else and just surrender to me. By this you will not commit any sin. Even if you think you will commit some sin, I will rescue you. I assure you, I guarantee you, I will rescue you from all those sins. Although there is no sin, but if you think, I will rescue you. To encourage Arjuna to really accept this. So then he told this, and then Krishna, we heard yesterday, you should never disclose this instruction to an irreligious person, or to a non-devotee, or to one who is unwilling to serve the Supreme Lord, or to him who is envious of me. That is why Bhagavatam is meant only for those who are nirmatsaranam, those who are not envious. We heard in Bhagavatam, Krishna is telling to Arjuna, there are three paths for advancement for conditioned souls: karma, jnana, and bhakti. Karma is for those who have material desires. Jnanis are those who want liberation from everything non-eternal, and bhakti is for those who awakened faith in me. They are ready to hear about me. They are not envious of my supreme position. Envy means when we see someone superior, more advanced, or more having something, more something, then we cannot tolerate that, which is just the opposite than the service or worship or adoration. So one who is not envious of Krishna, but accepts him as eternal master, he is eligible for Bhakti Yoga. So only those who have such thing, they can be engaged in Bhakti Yoga. Otherwise, it will not be good. And also, Krishna is telling, because Arjuna submitted to Krishna, so Krishna spoke to him and gave him this advice: you serve me. And you will find in this world there are so many commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, everyone trying to fulfill their own desires. They want something and they will find support of it in the Gita, and they will say Krishna is advising this, so they will take advantage. But that is not what Krishna meant. So Krishna told this Bhagavad Gita, and especially this most confidential advice: you should not speak to those who are envious of me, though unwilling to serve. Irreligious means sinful person like this. Why? Because they will misuse that. It will be harmful to them, and it will be harmful to the person who gave, because he gave to unqualified person. He will misuse it, and I will be also responsible for that because I gave. So Guru has to see the qualification of a disciple. Shastra also prescribes according to eligibility. That means this eligibility word means qualification. Not giving everything for everyone. It is to be seen for what he is qualified, that he should do. That is why Guru also has to be a realized soul to give advice accordingly. Everything is revealed in the heart of bona fide Guru, because he has pure heart. Krishna is there, and also what disciple, what is his mind, what is his mood, what is his whole picture, samskaras, karma, everything is considered. It is seen by Krishna and Guru, it is considered, so he will advise accordingly. That is why also that Nama Aparat is there. You should not give Harinam initiation to those who have no faith in Krishna. Otherwise it will be Nama Aparat. If I become Guru and want to give mantra to everyone, so without thinking about, means without considering their qualification, out of greed for disciples to get more followers, to get jai, to get puja, to get money, to get all these things, not considering, and some, they are not prescribing according to Shastra. They will say you can eat whatever you like, there is no problem. For the sake that they will get that disciple, because they are not serving Krishna. Those so-called pseudo quasi-gurus, there are so many. Shiva told to Parvati Devi, in this world, in Kali Yuga, you will find so many so-called gurus. They want to take away from disciples their money and these worldly things, but very rarely you will find a bona fide guru, Devi, who will take away suffering from disciple by prescribing devotion to Krishna. So what is devotion to Krishna is clear in the Shastra and by the Goswamis and Guru Parampara. So if someone is saying, no, you can eat meat, the alcohol, what, these 4 rules and regulations, they all use nothing. This is no need. You just love Krishna, that is fine. So that is not. How you can love Krishna? By not following what he orders himself and what Guru, bona fide gurus, they order. How then I am prescribing love of Krishna if I do not say these things are favorable for devotion to Krishna, these things are unfavorable, they are prohibited, you should not do this, otherwise Krishna will be dissatisfied, because I'm greedy for more disciples, for money and for these things. So I'm not prescribing devotion to Krishna. That disciple will also not get devotion to Krishna. So here Krishna, as a bona fide guru, he's telling you should not speak this to just everyone. First, you have to help them, try to help them to understand about Krishna and everything. Then when they are willing, when that faith is awakened and they are willing to serve, then you will instruct them. Prahlad Maharaj, he tried to explain to Hiranyakashipu, but Hiranyakashipu did not accept. Ultimately he was killed. His son Virochan, Prahlada's son, Prahlad Maharaj tried in many ways to send him to school of Brihaspati, and by his own example and by advice he tried to make him devotee, but failed, because he had so bad sanskaras, that Virochan. So Prahlad Maharaj, seeing that, he gave up. That means he did not initiate him or engage him in the service because he is unwilling. And also he did not beat him because he is unwilling or incapable. So this we have to consider. Krishna here is telling, and in Padma Puran, that Nama Parat is there. So we can try, like Prahlad did, to encourage. But if they are not willing, then you cannot give initiation. You cannot initiate them. If you try to forcefully, then you will fall down, because you are not serving Krishna. Krishna himself is never interfering in the relative independence of any jiva. Guru also does not, and forcefully do so. Krishna can do forcefully, he can do whatever he likes. But if he would forcefully do, then jiva would be reduced to matter without any free will. Then Krishna will not have anything from that, because bliss is coming from loving relation that is voluntarily. So they try to persuade, to convince them, to explain. Our Gurudev used to say also, you cannot spread religion by sword. If you not accept, then I will kill you. That is not the way. You have to explain with logic and argument and with scripture and with your perfect example. If they become inspired, then you initiate. Otherwise, not with sword. So, this we heard. Now, next point is coming. Ya idam paramam guhyam madbhakteshu abhidhasyati bhakti mai param kritva mam eva ishyati asangshayaha. He who will impart such confidential teachings of the Gita to my devotees will attain me by pure devotion, being bereft of all doubts. There is no explanation. Generally, we hear this verse saying that he is most dear to me. Who will do this? Why? Because he is doing it for the service of Krishna. He is serving Krishna. Krishna has love for all living entities. Natural love. But jivas have relative independence. Otherwise, they would be reduced to matter. So, some jivas, seeing dazzling Maya, looks very attractive. And that tendency to enjoy is in them. They want to enjoy. They don't want to serve Krishna. They will enter into this Maya and get false ego and everything. And, of course, suffering, birth, death, old age, disease, threefold miseries, perpetually. So, Krishna has to create all these species and all this because they want. Our Gurudev used to explain, some child of some mother he wants something which is not very good for him, so mother will try to obstruct, explain and everything. But if the child will repeatedly and he will cry and very stubborn, then there is some parental weakness in parents. They will then give, not from the heart, but they will give because he's crying so much. So that weakness comes, he will be dissatisfied and like this. So they give, but not from the heart. Like that, Krishna also, by his grace, we got all this. But he made such arrangement that we can enjoy in so many species this eating, sleeping, mating, defending. And then he gave us this chance of human birth and chance of gathering Sukriti in this world. And as a Paramatma, he's going with us to this world and inspiring from within heart. So when someone, like we are like lost children, our Gurudev used to explain there is one king, and kings, they, for them, for Kshatriyas, when there is no war, they may sometimes engage in hunting as a exercise, as a practice of fighting with arrow and these things. For them it is allowed. So one son went and he lost himself in the forest. So now he has no food, no nothing. And he had to eat roots and fruits, and in some villages where he found, he was begging like this. So much trouble. And if some minister of a king, sudden, coincidentally or by some arrangement, he sees that son and he recognizes him. Oh, why you are here? You are undergoing so much trouble, begging and all this. You are a son of a king. You come with me. I will take you to the king, back to the king. So he takes him, and when that relationship is re-established, then all that suffering which he was undergoing is gone, and all property becomes his, not directly, but because of his relation with the king. Everything is available to him, so he can have a full life of enjoyment. Like that, those jivas who misuse their relative independence did not want to serve Krishna, but wanted to enjoy their suffering, being enveloped by Maya. Krishna does not like to see this, out of compassion. So when some real devotee, which is also sent by Krishna to this world, real devotee, who is a servant of Krishna, he has no any other ulterior desire except service of Krishna, that is real devotee or real guru. He will try to bring these jivas, misguided jivas, back to Krishna. Then Krishna will be happy. And the jiva will also be happy. So real guru always tries to satisfy Krishna only. He is not doing preaching or trying to for others because he has any other target in his mind for getting money or for liberation or for disciple also, but exclusively because he wants to satisfy Krishna, because Krishna will be happy. So because he is fully engaged in the service of Krishna, he can also inspire devotion to Krishna in others and will engage them. Even when he gives initiation, means showing the path, how to worship Krishna, as Krishna here is telling. He is doing service to Krishna. He is not as guru, as enjoyer, as owner or something. No, he is only serving Krishna because this is service. But service will be when it is without any ulterior motive, helping those who have already awakened Sukriti, and means who gathered Sukriti and awakened Shraddha to Krishna, they are willing, he will give initiation to them, show them the path. Krishna will be very pleased with this. So to satisfy him they are doing, and they will try to encourage others to accept Krishna by preaching, by giving prasad, by all this, again with only purpose to satisfy Krishna. Those who are real devotees, they have love for Krishna and they are serving the Vaishnavas because they are very dear to Krishna, and they have compassion for all jivas. They know these jivas are suffering and they know what is the reason. So to remove that suffering, but not only to remove their suffering in the sense of wanting liberation for them. No, that is not actual benefit. Actual benefit is when they try to engage them in the service of Krishna, because by that they will get fulfillment of life. We are Satchidananda. Therefore we want Satchidananda. It is our requirement. So we can get full Satchidananda only by attaining service of Krishna. Even Vyasadeva played this pastime. Narad pinched him. He said, you are already Brahman realized. You realize Brahman. There is no material suffering, no mental, no physical, nothing, no suffering. There is bliss. You already realized Brahman. Why you are still unhappy? Why? Because Jiva is searching after Priti. Jiva Goswami told in Priti Sandarbha, everyone is searching after Priti, that is love and affection. But perfect object of love and affection is only Supreme Lord. If we misdirect that love to material things and relationships and all this, then that will not work. We cannot be fulfilled. Only when that Priti is directed towards Krishna, then Jiva can be happy. And in relation to Krishna, all to others, he will love in relation to Krishna. So Jiva Goswami told, they are all searching for Priti, because this Priti is the nature of Jiva. So, but in conditioned state, it is dormant or lost, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur told, lupto pray. So that is our necessity. Vyasadeva was not fulfilled. Then when Narad engaged him in the service of Krishna for his satisfaction, then he was happy. So unless we encourage other jivas and engage them in the service of Krishna, that is not actual compassion. Even if we try to liberate them from their suffering, like separately, if one will be engaged in the service of Krishna, all suffering will automatically be removed. But he will get that absolute bliss. But if I myself am suffering, seeing others suffering, so I want to remove their suffering to get peace myself, there is no service of Krishna here. So that cannot be preaching. When my target is to serve Krishna, and I want to help others by engaging them in the service of Krishna, that will be called the service of Krishna. Otherwise, it will be some other target. We may even use Krishna, like the Gyanis also, they worship Krishna for getting liberation. That is not pure devotion. It is not for Krishna's sake. How we will get this devotion to Krishna? Only by his personal associates, grace. Those who are real true devotee, they can help us to awaken that devotion. When that devotion will be awakened in us, then we can awake others also. One awakened person who is not sleeping, he can sleep, he can wake up many other sleeping persons. But if I am sleeping, then how I will awake others? I am myself and sleeping. That is why Mahaprabhu told, who can be Guru? One who knows Krishna personally, who is his devotee. He can be Guru. And he said to that Kurma Vipra also, you have to chant always Harinam, means fully devoted to Krishna, then you preach. And he said those who have taken birth in India, they should first make their own life successful, then they should help others. Like in flight, when you go, they will say, first you put mask on yourself, then you give to others. Not first to others and then. So like that, we have to be real devotees. Then we can inspire devotion in others. Otherwise, that will be for some other purposes. So we will not be benefited and others will not be benefited. So here Krishna is encouraging this service. It is one kind of service to preach and to engage jivas in the service of Krishna when it is done in this way, being authorized by Krishna and your own guru, and with this target. Krishna here says, one who will impart, initiate such confidential teachings of the Gita, which is pure devotion, to my devotees, means those who have awakened faith in Krishna, the awakened Shraddha, will attain me by pure devotion, being bereft of all doubts. And such a person is very dear to Krishna and he is doing greatest, highest service to Krishna. But first he himself has to qualify himself as a real devotee, then he will get such service. But if I am full of ulterior desires, then, and some ignorance, and then I will be tempted to get something from disciples. Sai Maharaj had so many things, but he never misused anything because he was already established in pure devotion. But if I am not, then there is this temptation for conditioned souls to misuse. Even if someone, gurus may be on different levels also of advancement, Uttam, Madhyam, and many stages also. At least Madhyam should be there. If there is no one, then even Kanishta is better than nothing, but at least Madhyam should be. Then he will do this service for the service of Krishna, and he himself will also advance by doing this service. He is not yet full perfect in all aspects and full, but he is sincere, he has much knowledge, he is devoted to Krishna, he has love, he has compassion for jivas, so he can guide them, and this will be his service, but he's not perfect. But sometimes we saw in practical life also, when such, like Madhyamadikaris, they were engaged in preaching and also for giving initiation and like this, that they thought, oh, now I am already perfect. Or it happened after the disappearance of their guru, when they lost that direct connection, so then Maya can enter and can think, now I am perfect. It can happen. And sometimes it happens due to more association with his disciples only, not with his God brothers so much. God brothers, they will not see him as their guru and will not behave in such a way towards him. They will know he's doing this service and everything, but they will not. But if Guru is very eager to associate only with his disciples, to remain only with his disciples, because they will always worship him, and yes, ocean of mercy and garland, so many things they will give, he will also start to feel very nice, and he will neglect his god brothers. That is also one trap for Guru. One trap for Guru, or to not associate with advanced devotees. Then he may think, now I am Acharya, world Acharya, now I can do whatever I like. And some pride is coming, unknowingly, that by Maya it is coming. They may misbehave with disciples or with other Vaishnavas. So if that accumulates and it goes on, then that Guru will also get some lesson. He can also become degraded by some arrangement, and they will also get lessons. So at all time, we should be very sincere about our target, and always be submitted. Submission to Guru. Never I should think I am Guru. That is not good. I am always disciple of my Guru. If Guru engages me in this service, it is my service, but I am not Guru. I am doing this service. I am not the enjoyer. If this false ego is there, then it will be spoiled, and it happened. If someone gets some position of preaching, but he's not, because he's having some more knowledge and something, so Guru will engage. Yes, you help them. And it will be helpful to him to engage in this service, and helpful for other jivas. He can help. But immediately if he misunderstands his actual position and misbehaves, becomes proud and disrespects some Vaishnavas, then that will also result in fall down. It was sin also. So always we have to be very careful. He who will impart such confidential teaching, because accepting disciples means helping them, jivas, is a part of Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. And Raganuga also. Because in Vaidhi 64 limbs of Vaidhi bhakti, you will find one should not accept too many disciples. Out of greed, as I explained before. So it means Vaidhi bhakta will do this service. Those who are advanced and who got this service. And Raga devotees, they are Uttamadikaris. They will already serve in Lila, and they can engage also in that, those who are qualified and like this. Madhyam will also advance to that platform by sincere service. So this is one kind of service. But immediately if we miss the target and we don't see this as a service of Krishna and as a following of our Gurudev, if that awareness is lost, that connection is lost, then we will lose. So target should always be correct. If it is immediately, if it is for some other purpose, for name and fame, for money or something, that will not be preaching. Target is lost. Even for liberation, if we try to help someone so that he will be free from suffering, that is not devotion to Krishna. That is some selfish purpose, my and his. We are eternal servants of Krishna. Our target should always be service of Krishna, my, and to help others for that. If any other target, that is not devotion to Krishna. Yes, now it is coming. Sorry, I did not remember. Nachatas manusheshu kaschinme priyakrita maha bhavita nacha me tasmat anyah priya tarobhuvi. Yes, this verse I had in mind before. Among mankind, None is or will be dearer and more serviceable to me in this world than he who imparts such teachings. This is the service. So first, I have to be established in this teaching myself. First, I have to be pure devotee, fully engaged in the service of Krishna. Then I will be capable of imparting, giving this knowledge and that energy to others, but to those who have awakened Shraddha. That will initiation and guidance, everything. But for other jivas, I will try to explain to them about Krishna and that they should accept. When they will accept, when that real faith will awaken, then initiation. And because there are the two conditions are there for giving initiation. One is that jiva has to have firm faith without any doubt. By serving Krishna, you serve all. So that he will be one-pointed. Sometimes Krishna, sometimes demigod, sometimes this, sometimes for liberation, all these things. No. Firm belief should be there that has to be awakened by hearing Harikatha from real devotee, by hearing Shastra, by doing some service. When that will be awakened, then this is first condition. Another condition is that aspirant should be willing to follow scriptural prescripts for the service of Krishna, both positive and negative. Guru will say, you will have to chant Harinam regularly, daily. You will have to observe fasting on fasting days, because that is given by Krishna in Shastra, that will please him. So Guru should engage in the devotion to Krishna. He has to explain, you will have to wear tulsi mala. That is for the satisfaction of Krishna. You will have to have tilak. That is for the satisfaction of Krishna. Guru has to explain. My Gurudev told me at my initiation, maybe you will think, I will not wear tulsi mala and I will not wear tilak, because then other people will ridicule me. They will laugh at me, crazy person, like this. Then Guru said, you are free to do whatever you like, but you think very deeply whether you want to please those conditioned souls. They are totally in Maya. Their target is some worldly enjoyment. They will ridicule you. You are crazy like this. If you want to please them, you can do. You are free. But you think at the time of death, or even in your, Gurudev did not say, but I am now saying, even at the difficult times, Gurudev said at that time, at the time of death, you think whether they will come to rescue you. Can they rescue you? Will they come to rescue you? You think. So whom you want to please? You want to please them, or you want to please Krishna? Krishna can rescue you. So wearing tilak is for his satisfaction. It is one devotional limb. That is why all devotees, they will wear tilak constantly. It is for Krishna's satisfaction. They will always wear tulsi mala. It is for Krishna's satisfaction. It is devotional service to Krishna. So Guru, if you will please Krishna, he will come to rescue you. So you decide whom you want to please. And if you will not, then you will not please Krishna. So you cannot count that you will get anything, because you are not satisfying him. You are trying to satisfy others. You will get that result. So you think. He was asking me at the time of initiation. And he said there are 4 rules to be followed. no, and these things. So you accept. Then, when disciple is willing, Guru will give. Otherwise, he is not prescribing devotion to Krishna. And that will not be real initiation. That will not be giving of bhakti seed to that disciple. It will be deceiving him. That disciple cannot get devotion to Krishna if Guru is not prescribing devotion to Krishna. No, these are all rules and regulations. This has nothing to do with love, love, love. There's nothing to do. Okay, if you have Raga Bhakti, it is very good. I worship you if you have Raga Bhakti. But if you have real Raga Bhakti, there are certain symptoms to be observed in real Raga Bhakta. Not that one is saying I'm a Raga Bhakta and at the same time so much attached to so many things in this world and enjoyment and all these things, but he's Raga Bhakta. So he will not follow any rules and regulations. That is nothing to do with devotion to Krishna. That is Hajiaism. How we can have that natural love for Krishna if we are full of anarthas and ignorance, all this? So Guru has to engage us. This is for the service of Krishna. He will tell. This is for his satisfaction. This is not. So when I will do this and give up all, then my heart will become purified more and more, and that devotion will be more and more increased. When I will come to the platform, Vidi Margarata Jane, Swadhinata Ratna Dane, Raga Marga Korano Pravesh. When you will accomplish that course of Vaidhi Bhakti, then by the grace of Vaidhi Bhakti, you will get freedom from following these rules and regulations, because you will enter higher stage. You will enter Raga Marga Korano Pravesh. Then that natural strong desire to serve Krishna will guide you. Now rules and regulations of Shastra are guiding you, what is to be done, what not. And when that devotion rag will be awakened, then that will be your guidance. So then there is no need of these rules and regulations anymore at that time. But if I don't have that rag, and I'm saying, no, these Vaidhi are all useless, then I will not get anything. I will be bound in this world in material sense enjoyment, in the name of Krishna Bhakti and all these things. So real bona fide Guru, he is a servant of Krishna. He wants to serve Krishna and he wants to give the service of Krishna to his disciple according to his eligibility. That is why Guru will prescribe these things. For the benefit of disciple, out of compassion, he cannot deceive him because he's not deceiver. But if I am deceiver, then for the sake of some other purposes, I will say, no, that is no, nothing. What diet has to do with love? Like this we will say. So that is not good. Here Krishna is saying one who will impart this knowledge to my devotees, those who have awakened Sukriti, he is doing highest service to me. I will be very much pleased with him. But he has to do really as service and prescribe properly and to proper candidate. No one is dearer to me than such a person who is doing this type of service. But again, we have to be qualified for such service and we have to really do it as a service. There are many things. Not that just, oh, Krishna is very happy, so now I will become Guru and do. Not so easy. You will have to see what are the qualifications of Guru in Shastra. What is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying in Chaitanya Charitamrita to Kurma Vipra and to Vasudeva Vipra and to Pradyumna Mishra and to Sanatana Goswami, all this Rupa Goswami, you will have to see. Then you will know. Adyeshyate chaya imam dharmyam samvadam avayo jnana yagena tenaham ishtaksyam iti me matihi. This is my view, that I shall be worshipped with a yagya of knowledge by him who will study this spiritual discourse between us two. Explanation: he who will study these spiritual dialogues that took place between me and you would worship me through the principle of Jnana Yoga, that is to say, the procedure of true knowledge. Here means that knowledge of Sambandha Gyan and Abhideya Gyan and Prayojana Gyan. Knowledge about relationship between Jiva and Supreme Lord and matter, and knowledge about what is the real duty of a Jiva and what is Jiva to attain that prema, that type of knowledge. Veda Shastra kohe Sambandha Abhideya Prayojan. That is the point of Vedas or point of Gita, not other things. So one who will study this and apply this, he will worship Krishna, he will satisfy Krishna by this Gyan Yagya. Here Gyan means pure devotion. Gyan Yagya, and he will also engage others. That will also come. Shraddhavan anasuyascha shrinuyat api yonaraha sopi mukta shubhalokan prapnuyat punya karmanam. He too who has faith is not envious and merely listens to this discourse, is relieved of all sins and will attain the happy regions of the virtues. What is the original sin? You will find in Bhagavatam, in the history of Ajamil. Parikshit Maharaj said, how jivas can make atonement for the sins? Is it possible? Then he said, yes, for Shukadev described karma. Parikshit did not like. Then by jnana, Parikshit did not accept. Then he said, Jiva cannot be actually purified of all sins, uprooting all sins, unless submits to Krishna fully by serving his pure devotee. By serving his pure devotee, he will get that exclusive unconditional surrender to Krishna. Then he will be released from all sins, because original sin is aversion to Krishna. Misuse of our relative independence, did not want to serve Krishna, wanted to enjoy. That has to be removed. How that can be removed? By accepting eternal devotion to Krishna. So one who will, with faith and without envy to Krishna and to Arjuna, he will hear this. He will also get that devotion and happiness. Our happiness is coming from devotion. Kachit etat shrutam partha tvayaikangrena chetasa kachit agyana samoha pranashtaste dhananjaya. No, sorry, explanation. I forgot to read the previous verse. He who, though not my devotee, yet faithful and non-envious, hears the teachings of the Gita, attains the region of the virtues, relieved of all sins. O Dhananjaya, did you listen to the Gita with rapt attention? Have you been disillusioned from your ignorance? Guru will also ask this. You understood? What you will do now? You understood? What is the meaning? Guru has to do this also. So Krishna asked, Arjuna, although he knows, Guru also knows, but anyway, they are asking. So now only this verse I will read, then tomorrow we'll hear further, because this verse is very nice. Arjuna Uvach. Nashto moha smritir labdha tvat prasadan mayachyuta stitosmi gata sandehah karishye vachanam tava. This is very nice verse. Arjuna said, O Achyuta, that is Krishna, from whom nothing can be detached. One meaning, he will not fall down, cannot fall down. Another, our good, Achyuta, you cannot divide. Nothing is detached from him. Achyuta, that is Krishna. He is Advaya Gyan. He is absolute, infinite, everything is he, not dual. By your grace, my illusion is gone. I have regained my sense. I am settled. My doubts are removed. I shall follow your advice. So here explanation, and tomorrow we'll more go deeply into this. Just explanation of it. Arjuna said, O Achyuta, by thy grace, the veil of illusion has vanished from my mind. I have recovered my lost senses, and I understand that the Jiva is the eternal servant of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. All my doubts are gone. By absolute surrender at thy lotus feet, which is the essential function of every Jiva, I shall follow thy divine footsteps. It's your order. So tomorrow we will hear more in detail about this point.